pushed a lot. Let's talk about it with Joseph Tully as we look forward to this case. The Charlie Adelson conviction was big for the state. This one is going to be maybe a little bit more difficult, maybe not. It really depends. If you buy into this whole story, which is pretty easy to do, Donna Adelson really does boil your blood because she comes across, even in Charlie's trial, as the person in charge, that go-between that's trying to accomplish the goal of getting the grandkids to South Florida, because frankly, Charlie's like, all right, it's hard to believe that Charlie by himself is like, oh, we have to get the grandkids down here to South Florida. But if Ma wants it, that changes the whole complexity of it. What's your take on the state's case, given what we know about Charlie's case and McBanawa's case, now with Donna?
You know, I think that there's components of both sides. In some senses, it's going to be easier because they already have a conviction. They already have a roadmap that they know what works. They can evaluate what worked in the last trial, what didn't work. They could double down on the things that worked, and they can abandon the things that didn't work. On the other hand, though, you have a little bit more removal. Donna Adelson isn't the one who's accused of pulling the trigger. She's a little bit more removed from the activity. The mastermind is a little bit, it's a little bit harder to prove than this is the gunman, this is the person that did it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's a bad case, but it takes a little bit, you have to sell the conspiracy rather than, look, whatever you believe, this guy pulled the trigger. So there are components of both sides. I do predict, though, that the state will get their conviction in this case.
Yeah, it is removed because you have Rivera is the gunman along with Sigfredo Garcia. They're connected because of Catherine McBanawa. She's connected because of Charlie Adelson. So you already have McBanawa on some level organizing, Charlie calling the shots. Now they're going after Mom controlling the son, Charlie. What about Wendy? She's been used effectively, given immunity, case immunity for her testimony for the other trials. Do you think that's their next target after Donna? Because frankly, it's very hard to believe that the Adelsons are going to kill someone's ex without their knowledge as a big present. Hey, look what we did. We killed your ex-husband. Thought you'd like it. I mean, that's not something you do. That's not a gift you give without authorization. What's your take on the maybe possibly next step, which a lot of people think is coming?
You know, I think that it does get complicated by the fact that they've given her immunity and asked her to testify. And so we have sort of this Bill Cosby case is somewhat relevant here, where the government said, look, give us this testimony, or you could go and testify and nothing will happen to you. And then they brought charges later, and Bill Cosby was able to successfully argue on appeal that wasn't fair. And so there's a little bit of that issue here. You know, can they truly base a case on something where they could prove that it was completely outside of her testimony? It would also send a chilling effect to people who, you know, they're saying, hey, look, we're going to give you immunity, and then lawyers in the future can say, no, judge, that, you know, that's not true. They're still going to come after my client. So right. I think it's difficult.
Joseph, thank you as always. Matt Johnson's interview when we return with Robert Tellis.